y'all trying to do? What you trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe so clear.
How you doing, guys? Welcome to the Power of Voices, and you are live with Anna Marie on the Comedy Live Hour. We have Susan Sega, and we have Jennifer Valley.
Yay!
Yay! It's a ladies'
Thanks,
night.
Anne-Marie.
We're the
It's a
cool
ladies'
moms.
night. That's
Ladies'
right, the cool
night.
moms.
The cool moms.
That's right.
Cool moms are here.
Kids aren't watching, right? I mean,
My kids aren't interested in what
in
I'm
what, in what you do?
No.
Gee, that's terrible. That's really funny because I had my sister, and I said, hey, they're in Boston. So I'm like, hey, did you see any of my shows? She's like, yeah, I watched one of them. I go, yeah, I'm pretty sure when they get up to receive the Academy Awards, they go, I would like to specially thank my family who watched one of my shows. I
There
don't
you
think
go.
that's how the speech goes, but that's family, right?
Yeah, that's family. My kids did come to see me at a club one night. 2 out of 3 of them were
Are in
21.
that?
Yeah. And it was funny because the MC kind of went, usually it's the parents that are in the audience, not the kids. And I took 7 minutes or whatever it was, and I just kind of said, ladies and gentlemen, these are my children, and it's not often that a mother gets 7 uninterrupted minutes to tear into her children. So
When you tear into your children, exactly what does that mean, Susan?
I make fun of them.
To make fun of them?
Yeah.
Based on something
Love
they
it.
had done?
Yeah, I love. We're just, it's the loony bin where,
Where your mother might fly out of your face at any
Well,
given moment?
That's
That's what motherhood's about, isn't it?
No, I'm a pacifist, and I just sort of was the cool mom, not a good mom necessarily, but just the chill mom,
So you're the whatever?
Well, not whatever, but it's like, okay, learn from life's lessons. It's like trial by doing. Let the world give you your lesson in what you're about to. You can guide and all that stuff, but there's nothing like letting the world teach them by. It's a very karmic, cathartic way. Now she was more like
Oh no, I was a tiger
she
mom.
was a tiger mom.
I had my kids and everything. They were playing every musical instrument. They were, dancing, gymnastics. They just kept busy.
Yeah, well,
And they were gifted classes. I made sure. I told them
Tired them out.
I told them it's better to be smart than pretty.
Well,
so
wait a
get
minute.
on
How
it.
many kids do you have?
2.
So you got 2. How many kids you got? 2?
3.
3. You got 3?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like overboard. Plus
I know,
you're
I
Jewish,
want-
right?
Right.
That doesn't happen.
It does. Well,
It
look, 3 different fathers.
I like that about you.
Ooh, she's a nasty girl.
Didn't want to
She's
put all my
nasty guy.
eggs in one basket, honey.
Yeah.
Right?
just boom.
I know. I can't resist saying that. But no, my 2 daughters are adopted from China. So,
Oh, really?
yeah. And, yeah.
So you did.
Remember,
so
they were throwing away girls for a while. They were
They
in China.
were. They didn't really want them.
They didn't want girls.
No.
That was
That's just wrong.
It is
Yeah,
wrong.
they didn't
But
want
that's
them.
not. They're not the only ones who have that
No.
mentality.
No.
Because my mother's German, and they used to give gold coins if you had so many sons, the czar and all that. Like she
Right.
tells a family history of how my grandfather was one of 9. 9?
Well,
Yeah.
Think about that. But yeah, I mean that was like the
Well, in
big
China,
to-do.
you're only allowed 1 kid. And
they want a boy.
and they want a boy because the boy takes care of the parents. The female child goes and marries off, and what good is
'Cause
she?
like that-
There's no Social Security there. They're like, once you're old and you're not working. I mean, I don't know what their thing is.
So they
but-
would abort girls if they found out they had girls, or they would just give them away to orphanages.
Because I'm like thinking in
Or other
America,
things.
you ain't
Other
gonna get
things,
no
yeah.
son to take care of your ass. Just
It's
saying.
going to be my daughters that
That's
wipe
right.
my
You-
ass,
you're
not
fortunate.
my son. Let me tell you that right off.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's I don't really recollect. I mean, very many sons that Italy. I know mothers and sons are like inseparable.
Well, there's that Jewish thing too, but no, my son he's so much like me. Only he has testosterone and he's not afraid of his parents. Those were 2 things that I was, but other than that, he's just me, and it's really frightening because I was a wild child. I was not, I was the youngest, and
They were exhausted by
I
the time
burned
they
an
got
American
to you.
flag, by the way.
You're
Get
allowed
out.
to do that. You're allowed to do that.
You're allowed to do that. This was 1970. Oh, Lord, it might have been 1970.
Not according to Trumpy.
One or two. No.
Yes,
Can't be
but-
doing that.
But
Well,
in '89, the
In
Supreme
89, but
Court
I did
ruled
it
that you can
before
do
that when it was really,
Like,
like that.
people
I'm not
freaked
that,
out, right?
that I'm proud of it, but we were protesting the Vietnam War. I got 300 kids to walk out of school, and we burned the American flag. And did that end the war? I don't know. Maybe so.
No, see, my class, it was like, hey, who wants to go smoke weed? And 300 kids would follow you out the door.
There you go.
I mean, whether or not we had a rally was irrelevant. You know, I just know that there was a lot of people that
Are you
showed up
Gen
for lunch.
X? Are you Gen X? You're a little younger.
A little younger? Yeah, not
you Gen
much.
X? No?
Gen X, sure.
Yeah,
Whatever
sure.
that is.
That was
Never
the
ask
next
a woman
Generation
their age,
X.
Susan. You're obsessed with that.
I
Stop
know. I
that.
don't care.
ask women their age.
She hates it when I tell my age.
I don't. What's the point? You're as old as you look.
That's
is
it.
What, it is what it
Or
is. I
as
wear
old
it
As
like
old as your energy is. You
Right,
Don't,
but
you
I-
don't need to put a thing on it. You
No,
know?
you don't. But you go from being hot to being cute in that little old lady kind of way, and I'm on my way to that, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Not as much fun as being hot was.
Well, you're,
Don't get me
you're dating, shall we say, choices. You know, do you do any online dating?
I just joined Match.com, and it's something I said I would never do. I did the 3-month trial, and I thought, well, I'm doing it for the material, right? And I've really not gone out on very many days. I don't know if it's because I'm picky but I've got 10 new minutes. And it's all inspired by having done this. Because I used to, talk about it a little bit on stage, but I'd never experienced it. It's insane. I'm going to start doing you'll see. But
You can do that here.
I can do
it's
that
a comedy
here.
show.
No,
we
I
got
know.
an hour. Bring it.
No, I'm going to start to do little snippets of guys' profiles in part of my set because people will not believe the shit that I read. You get 11 matches a day. I look at those matches. I check yes or no. If they get in touch with me, fine. If not, I'm not going to call anybody. I'm not, I might go, that made me
Wait a minute.
laugh,
First of all, nobody calls.
write them.
Text
Right.
them.
No,
No one actually.
It's email, but through the site, so it's all safe.
Yeah, right.
On
Because
Match.com. But I've got seriously about 10 new minutes of material that's just really it's been an
Oh, I
inspired-
thought you got 10 new minutes of like
no,
man.
No,
I'm talking
material,
about materials, jokes. I'm talking about
I'm
ha-has.
surprised you only got 10
I just
10
started.
minutes.
I mean,
Oh, you just started.
The first year, it took 15 minutes. It took a year to get the first 15 minutes of my set. I mean, that's about standard when you're
Yeah.
starting out. So when you think about putting together 10 new minutes, that's not that easy of a feat.
So are you like my guys who come in and say that they had to learn how to be funny? That it was something that you developed as the more you got on stage. That no one started out as being funny.
And I think it's the opposite, actually.
I do too. I don't agree with
I
that.
don't agree with
No,
that at
I mean,
all.
that's not the case with me. It's probably different for
For everybody.
Yeah.
But you have to be funny, first, and then figure out how to tell jokes, I think. I mean,
That's basically what I meant.
Wait.
It's like the art of being funny, the strategy,
no, but I
the
think you
form.
have to start out as a funny person. I know
Yeah.
people. I know guys like that. They watch people do comedy and they think, oh, well, all I have to do is
They're students of comedy
right instead of doing it.
or being it. I mean, it's weird because I find that, it's been an evolution, because I didn't start doing stand-up till I was 53. Okay, I've been doing it 8 years. How old am I? I don't know. Do the math.
Why? I don't get it.
Oh,
I like pissing her
Well,
off.
you know what?
Get it.
With
We're like the odd couple. People have even thought that we were like a couple. I'm like,
oh well, yeah. I
"Ew."
mean
we're
that
not at all like.
because you hang out a lot.
Well, and travel and
It's safer for two women. We go to
Right.
Vegas a lot. It's safer just to go travel as women, even though we have our own rooms. It's just we have someone to hang out with. We exercise during the day.
drive together.
Doesn't that dampen like your potential, so you don't have to go on a dating site, or do you?
When you're doing a show in Vegas, you want to know the kind of guys that come up to you and
Oh my gosh! Oh lordy! Just the people in Vegas in general. They mean, the regulars, they're nice. Thanks for watching our shows.
Yeah, we love.
we love our Vegas
going to
regulars.
Vegas.
We do.
Yes,
We love it.
Yes.
But
Jack
where do you
Slammy,
perform when you go to Vegas?
Shout out
We've
to
been
Jackson.
to Bally's. We've been to Venetian. We do
I'm going
the
back to the
SLS.
That's quite a club.
We've done because we work for a chain called Bonkers with a Z.
Oh, okay.
And
All
they
right.
have, and they're based in Florida. That's where Susan hooked up with them.
Yeah.
But they also have clubs in Vegas and Arizona and a few other
Yeah.
major cities. So she
So
got into-
are you contracted under that umbrella?
No.
So you go to their clubs?
It was really crazy. I started doing stand up in Tampa, and one of the people that started before me, she moved out here too. This chick, her name's Jody White. She came to Cleo's with me a couple times, but she's a national headliner and she works ships and she and her husband and stuff. So I was a feature, middle person, and she took me on this run to Vegas that Jennifer and I did 2 times, I don't know, but I'm getting ready to do it again.
That's the fifth. We've already done it. Like 4 or
only
5.
without her, but.
What is she, like your security blanket?
No, but we've become this like the odd couple.
The odd
she
couple.
drives.
Uh-huh.
We have.
I'm her Uber because I'm Uber controlling. She's too high, dude. She gets distracted. So I have
Gotta
to,
love that.
I have to maintain.
Well, yeah.
Someone's
Now
gotta
that
maintain
now that they've legalized marijuana in
Oh, they have?
They have. Not that it matters to a lot of certain people, but the big hubbub is that everybody that knows I moved here, and the joke's on me because basically that can't happen anymore because I got blisters on my vocal cords, right? Which is like.
And you're a singer.
And yeah,
blisters.
actually,
What's that mean?
a blister?
That sounds horrible.
it means that
How did you get that?
basically talking and singing and nicely. Yeah. Good thing you're not on camera.
Oh,
That's
boy,
nice.
I saw that.
Yeah, little friction.
That was fresh.
Oh, I'm getting
that
text.
was a little fresh.
Somebody must have liked what that insinuated. My phone just went off. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, actually that was quite funny because I think
You
the
liked
guys
it.
were on the thing and the lady goes, oh, she had a scope. It's about this long and she's going to put this down your throat and you might gag a little. I said, no, I won't. I'm good like that. So she was just like,
And the older you get, the better you get at it.
that's
just
what you
true.
say.
Yeah.
You brought that up with the fact that these guys can date younger women and
Go for it.
and what's the reason you said that basically?
30
I mean,
years experience
yeah,
giving the blowjob. You can't beat that.
You
I don't
can't
care
beat
how
that.
young and
wait a
supple
minute, do you
your
put that
flesh
on
is.
Match? It's
Huh?
like
No.
my
No,
forte.
No.
No, really?
They just assume
They just
that
assume.
you do at that point.
I mean, come on. I was married for, quite a bit too. Every Tuesday and Saturday, whether we wanted to or not.
you do your
Wait,
marital duty.
but
That's
yeah,
right.
actually I'm sitting next to a young 30-something-year-old.
I made him laugh. I'm
Yes.
thinking my brain.
You people can't see Lee, but he's over here doing all kinds of gestures, laughing and having a good time. What I wanted to ask you is the young man sitting next to me at the bar. He made a mention about. He said, "My father told me that I love this. My father told me that when you get married, you can forget about sex, and oral sex will stop." And I looked at him. I said, "Your father must be a very depressed man."
Yeah.
Yeah. Married wrong.
I said, why? First of all, based on what? I mean, did you want to have that conversation with your mother? I'm thinking not. Hey, Ma, you know what Dad says? Is it true, Ma? I mean, it's like, how can you verify that
You
report? And what is he not doing?
But that generation, not the greatest generation when it came to that. The greatest generation for World War II and all of that stuff, but not for oral sex. They were not, it was a new concept to them.
She said, I just had a friend call in. She said she can hear us, but she can't see us.
What is she, Stevie Wonder?
I don't know. It's Priscilla. Hey, Priscilla, you know the number of the studio. You can call and chat. Anybody want to call in? That we had people calling in. Actually,
you did?
Andre
Oh,
called
that's
in
cool.
last week.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, to let me know he was watching the show and he enjoyed it. And then who else called in? The woman who owned the radio station. I thought I was in trouble, but hi. I'm like, who's this? She's like, what do you mean, who's this? And it was Josefa, and we're on the powervoices.com. This is the Comedy Hour Live, and I'm here with my two guests. Basically, we're here to enlighten you people
Well,
about some things.
What we always say too is what we hope when we travel together is we'll find a nice father and son duo because she likes
Yeah.
him older and I like him younger. So if we could find like a nice.
Oh, wait. How
Fathers.
much younger?
Like I could go like she could go like 65 maybe, right? And I'll take like 40-ish,
Okay.
Yeah.
You stay out of the 30-ishes? Because
Oh,
I cannot get out of the 30-ishes.
I'll
Oh,
go 30.
really?
I'll go 30-ish. Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't I?
I can't do that.
I can.
It just makes me look older. That's
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
well, we were talking about that. I
I look much hotter next to, like.
See, that's a ploy, right? Yeah. There's
go.
only so many things you can enjoy. How dark can it get? Spanks with Velcro, for a little bit of, do they
That's
make
right.
that in lingerie? I'm not sure.
They're going to.
I mean, they're
'cause I
going
do a
to?
whole bit about. We'll talk about a senior aisle at the porn store, what they should have there.
Oh.
I'm not going to do it now because that's part of my set. But yeah, I mean.
Well, that's
so
the
yeah.
idea of you do it. It's a comedy hour. What
Yeah,
part,
do
did you
it
get
now.
the
What do you
memo?
mean? You're not going to do a set.
You're
I'm not gonna
supposed
do
to be
a set.
doing your shit
Set.
so
No,
people
they
come
just
see
are.
you.
I see. Well, I say
They
they
go,
should
man.
have edible granny panties. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Everything in really large print, so you can see
Wait a
the
minute.
ingredients
And directions?
and no.
Okay.
Knee pads.
Knee pads.
Because
Knee?
some of us still get down on our knees, and we'd like to be able to get back up.
Why did
that's
she
all.
point to me when she said
Because
that? I don't know why she pointed to me.
Wait a minute. I know what they'll call that aisle. Toys for twats. But anyways,
no.
go ahead. I actually wanted to have a
was it?
sex toy, when they're doing all the parties.
The patties.
Actually, they have a
Oh, they have those sex parties. Yeah,
yeah,
they sell the
sex parties.
toys.
And I had a girl, she's like, Anna Maria, I would if you did those. So I had a bunch of gorgeous gay friends of mine. I'm like, you guys, bow ties, your little Chippendale skivvies. I said, we'll have a menu, bologna sandwiches, my big sausage.
Bologna? Did you
bologna
say-
sandwiches.
She said
Yeah.
bologna
I mean, I had a whole
bologna.
menu. Yeah, like the they had sweaty balls, but I was gonna call them meaty balls. But do this whole menu that we would serve, and the guys, because women love gay men, right? I mean, seriously, and they would show women exactly how to use all the fun, and I was gonna call it Toys for Twats. So I'm writing on the back. I worked at a furniture store, high-end furniture store, and I'm writing on the back of my business card because I didn't have any scratch paper how I could write Toys for Twats that was acceptable, that people, I could logo it.
There's
and
no way.
I went through all this stuff. Well, my manager, he was really young, and he was a young Jewish kid with the very pasty, the freckly kind of skin. So when he blushed, he was like, you could see him like a mile away
Bright
coming.
red.
So he's coming at me, and his face is like bright red, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And he's walking at Scott, and I'll never forget, and he's standing there, and he just goes, I know that without any intention that this happened because you, and I didn't have to turn the card over. And I went, oh my God. He goes, your business card? Do you accidentally give it to a customer? Because it was on the floor. And he hands it to me, and there's like 6 different versions of Toys for Twats, Toys for Twats, Toys for, numbers and light bulb and twats and all kinds of shit. But yeah, it was kind of fun. But everybody said if that was a party, it was a great idea. Hook up with a limousine company. So yeah, I like your the elderly owl. That would do
Right.
well in Florida.
That doesn't seem like it would be a
Very-
good business. It's like multi-level marketing. It's like, okay,
No, you
whoever
can-
sells the most dicks, you can move up.
What, the toy parties?
Yeah. It's
No,
like,
that's
you
not-
can only have one because how many dildos do you need? For goodness sake, it's not like.
According to the women at these parties, they just couldn't get their hands enough on the spinners, the wheelers, the screamers, and what have you. I'm like, and then I have my sister who's telling me
I can't even. I'm such a prude when it comes to that shit. I mean, privately is a different matter, but if I'm with a bunch of women looking
Well,
at
that's
a
where the
bunch
gay
of
men
dildos,
come in.
I go, oh my God, I don't want to be here.
The gay men are there to show you how to do that while they're servietting you their bologna sandwiches of how to
That's
use
funny, though.
the
I bet
fun
that's
toy of the week.
hilarious. I bet
Yeah,
that's
we would have
hilarious.
raffles.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean,
right. Yeah, it's because of gay guys that I'm working in Vegas now as much as
Did
as
they?
I am. No, I did a show with this. I was telling you the story. I did a show with this girl Jody, and I was the feature. And they put us on a second show, and there was a guy, a gay politician in Vegas. It was his first guest set ever. He had, I don't know, taken a class or prepared a 5-minute set. And so they put them on with us. They called us Punchline and Pumps. And all of Gay Vegas came out. There was like 250, 300
I love
people.
that punchline and pumps.
Punchlines and Pumps. And so there we were. You know, I was the feature. It was my first time in Vegas, my first night performing. We had done an earlier show. There I was, 250 gay guys. Who loves an older chick more than gay guys?
There's a phrase for that, isn't it? Fag hag.
I don't know. No, they want to be us. I'm sorry. You say we love them. They want to be us. They wanna be
Really?
us. Yeah, I had one of the best sets I've ever had. They were with me the whole flipping way. And the owner of the Bonkers Comedy Clubs were there, and he gave me his card and da-da-da. And then the next time he contacted me was to headline. I'm like, I'm not
Oh,
a
that's
headliner.
awesome.
I'm not a headliner. And then I called you and said,
Listen, all that bragging
you
you did
featured?
about knee pads, I would think the term headliner, you'd be all in. Yes, I have a
But-
shirt.
it was very daunting because I've only been doing stand-up for 8 years, and so then 7 years, and I felt like, don't do anything before you're ready. But then there's opportunity.
And if you don't scare yourself a little, you're not going to learn anything. You
Right.
know,
Right.
play it safe constantly. You're never going to grow and learn and get better.
You talking to me?
I mean,
That-
you know, I know that's her mantra.
I'm telling the world.
Yeah, we're telling the kids
Grab the world
out
by
there.
the balls,
Yeah.
kids. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid.
And you know, and it's this stuff like we were talking about it. Like you got to have bad nights. You've got to have nights that you bomb.
All right. Tell me Bob's story. Bring it.
Not that I do. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
don't know. That's not true. I mean, you know, like performing 2 shows with 6 people there. You know, it's hard. Or doing a corporate gig where there's 200 people at a bar. Everybody's talking except the 3 that are actually paying attention to you. So you do your 25 minutes for those 3 people, and you're screaming it because, you know. I'll never forget. My throat was sore, like you've probably experienced singing, you know, for days after that.
Singing, folks. She meant her throat was sore from singing. Go ahead.
But, you know, you can have nights that, you know, things just don't land, or, you know, you're. I was telling her coming over here, I did a show the other night, and this guy came up and said, oh, you know, the audience wasn't good. I didn't. It's like, you know, don't ever feel bad if you have a bad set, if it doesn't go well, if you don't get laughs, if every joke, because you learn more from that than every set you're flying on.
I think also that guy was trying to impress you and maybe was embarrassed that he wasn't as good as you. Or
It was
something.
that guy that you know. I mean, it was.
what guy did I know?
From we'll talk later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, this is somebody we both know. But
I know a guy- I
because
know a
don't
guy.
wanna
Give you the
ever-
juice
I
later.
I know a guy.
No, I wouldn't call anybody out. But I mean, I was just, I wanted to just shake him and go, dude, no. This is what you got to do. This
Okay,
is,
first of all, you made every man kind of go, "Ah." I wanted to shake him.
no.
Shaken by the nuts.
Get a rise
Nut
out of him.
shaker.
But you know, that's part of the deal. That's part of.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
Yeah, the angst of it.
You don't even figure it out for 5 years, and that's what I tell people.
That's
and
true.
you got to do it like almost every night. You
Okay,
do not
this-
figure it out because you can be funny and you can tell jokes, but till you figure out your personality and who you are, it takes years to figure out. I mean, Jerry Seinfeld says it takes 10 years to figure it out.
Most people will agree on 10 years to headline.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. To get that
It's ama-
comfort level. Because you know what it is? Like, I used to go to shows, and watch comics that, like, everybody, you know, you're seeing shitty set after shitty set, like maybe a bringer show or something. And then all of a sudden they'll get a headliner that pops in. And he will take that room of 12 or whatever it is,
And make it his bitch.
make it his bitch. And that's the difference between being a headliner, because when you're at that comfort level and it's just I can just start to feel it happen. for
I
me.
saw that. I watched that happen. We were at Wild, okay, and there was comedians went up. There was, you know, an interesting vibe. It's a restaurant. So people were sitting at their table, like, and, you know, they got the mic in the corner. I actually believe that there's something about being elevated when you're on the
You
same.
have to. I will not perform unless there's an elevation.
Right. Well,
We've done well. That's more open mics, though. Yeah.
But you
with
have to.
that.
You have to
right.
be
There's
elevated.
a psyche about doing that.
Yes,
so they were
of
all
course.
standing at eye level. I mean, I'm here. You know, the woman's eating her salad. He's standing there while he's telling his joke. Well, the few people that went on. I mean, there was a set of triplets that were hysterical.
Oh, I know those boys.
I will
I know
have
them
them
too.
on my
We've been
show. Aren't they
performing with them before.
adorable?
Yeah.
They're
24
cute.
years old. They're cute, and they play off, each one of them the
We
way they
haven't seen
do.
them do
That was
stand-up.
totally different. Oh, they're hysterical
But
what they
we
do.
did a improv thing with them. And
Yeah.
They're cute.
And they then there was another guy. Well, the headliner, he came on. It was brilliant. And I was just blown away by his and he. It's like you said. It was like everybody that was like not interested. They ended up leaving. So he's playing to a table of us. There's like 7 or 8 of us, and there were some people that were other in the room. But there was more energy, even though it thinned out, than what was sitting there so stagnant before. And you watched him master the crowd.
And that's
It was
what
amazing.
you do. You don't say, I had a shitty night or the audience was bad or this or that. You take it, you see what didn't work, and you make it better. So the next time you hit the stage, something that you do is better than you did the last time you were on stage. And to me, that's the process is what the trip of it is. The punch, the thing that grabs.
So seeing, and I mean, being in the audience and listening to the stories, it's like I'm sitting here going, and people ask me all the time, oh, you got a comedy talk show? I'm like, yeah, it's actually what I'm most comfortable. Do you do stand-up? No, I sit in a chair. And they're like, I mean, do you get up? Do you go?
I've seen
and
you
I've
do
said,
stand-up.
And I'm like, well, if you sat in a chair and listened to the stories that I hear, your mind goes, what the fuck would anybody want to do that? Thank you very much. I'll just sit here and let my comedians take over the funny. But there's a certain amount in asking them whether or not they want to be after they have those moments. How do you want to get back up on stage? And everyone
so
had
you
a
can
different
be better the next time
Yeah.
because you're
This is like-
determined. You're not going to let you're only blocking yourself when.
Yeah, I mean, once you decide to be a comedian, you have to, like, you write a joke. If you tell it once and it bombs, are you going to throw that joke away? No, you're going to try it like 2 or 3, at least 4 or 5 different times because just to figure out how to say it, because you'll know the joke is funny, but maybe you're not saying it right, or maybe the timing's off. So you say it a few times
Right.
till you figure out.
So the moment you decided to become a comedian, when? First you.
Well, my first job in LA was a waitress at the Comedy Store in the fall of 1979.
Okay.
And, Leno was there, Seinfeld. I saw everybody prior, all those guys, Dangerfield, all of them, just, and regularly.
Wow.
And I was an actress, and an improviser and stuff. And they were doing an improv night, 2 nighs. And Robin Williams was headlining with the Comedy Store Players. Martin Short was in the group. Lucy Webb. It was Bernadette Burkett. They were the Cynthia Sigeti. It was like the Rolling Stones of the improv.
Man, it sounds like the Camelot of
Yeah,
comedy.
people were lined around the corner, and I started as a waitress taking the class in the day, and then they asked me to quit my job because you couldn't wait tables and perform. So, but waiting tables, I waited tables for a year, and I saw every comic, and I've always, my parents listened to Lenny Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I grew up listening to it. So, I always had an affinity for it. I tried it once back then. I took a class and blah, blah, blah. And I did my set and it went really well. And then I realized I've got nothing really to say yet.
Really?
And it was like I scratched it off my bucket list and went, that was fun, at like 28, 29, 30, somewhere around there. And, I didn't really think about it again. I really didn't. I started doing other films, and I was
You're right,
doing
because you were an
whatever.
actress.
Yeah, I was an actress.
And you?
I was in an improv group too, and we toured around. We opened for Gary Shandling. We had our own theater, and then I got tired of writing by committee. It was
okay.
like there was just a couple of us girls and mostly guys, and we performed every Friday and Saturday night, and we did sketches and improv. And you had to write your own stuff if you wanted to be in the show. So that's where I just started writing, because if I couldn't, unless the guys who wrote the stuff cast the women, you wouldn't be in it. So I started writing my own stuff. And then we started getting married and having kids and stuff. And so when I was 6 months pregnant, I decided to start stand-up because I thought I had this thing. I had to keep busy, and I wanted to be creative. So I started doing stand-up. because I figured I can write a joke today, perform it tonight, and I'll find out if it's funny. I don't have to rehearse with you motherfuckers for 2 weeks and, perform for an audience and find out if it's funny. I can do it right now. I can write it today. I can perform it tonight, and I'll find
Right.
out if it's funny.
And
So-
do it, and you don't need to wait for another person
Right.
or a director.
I'm
or
doing
this
it
or that.
myself.
Yeah, you
So the night I had my daughter, I was performing at the Laugh Factory.
Oh, get out.
I got off the stage like 12:30. Applause. My water broke. Went to the hospital. Had my daughter like at 4 a.m.
Oh, that's it.
Like she came out to the applause. Woo!
That talk about a running joke.
I was
yeah, I
like,
gotta
you
go.
know.
Gotta go. Yeah.
So
that's
anyway,
hysterical.
cut to when I was 53 years old. I'd been divorced for a year, and my friend took me to a comedy club to see this woman, Mary Ellen Hooper, who's very funny. She was an LA comic, moved to Orlando, and we saw her. And during this set, she goes, she has 2 boys adopted. She goes, does anybody have adopted children? And I raised my hand. She goes, do they look like you? And I said, well, they're from China, so no. And it got a big laugh. And my friend starts nudging me, right? And she goes, well, we got the they're from China part. Did we need the so no? And then she got a big laugh. And my friend said, you're just as funny as and she dared me. And then another friend, they kind of double dared me. And 3.5 weeks later, I went up at the club there, and I said, one night only, I stacked the crowd with all my teacher friends. I was a substitute teacher. The moms from preschool, the PTA moms. And I had like 30 people there. It wasn't going to go bad. You know what I mean? And so, right. So, the energy was great. It went great. And the club invited me back to be in a contest. And that
Wow.
was 8 years ago.
And you
I
never
know.
look back,
Never
as they
looked
say,
back.
and I never looked back.
But I didn't decide to do it, is what I'm saying. It was a dare. And I wanted to see, after going through all that, after being divorced, after going through infertility, after adopting children and blah, 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 could I pull it off?
Yeah, well, it's open mic nights are kind of brutal. They'll let you know.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
like,
wanna-
but it wasn't going to be brutal because I had it stacked in my favor.
Well,
totally.
isn't it like when you do the open mic night, you're performing with the audiences of your peers? Because
This place had people would bring people. So I'm telling you, the place was stacked with my friends
that's
and the comics. That's who was there that night,
Now, see,
So
I
it wasn't going
personally-
to go bad.
I would rather perform in front of a room full of people I did know. Because even
Well,
now,
Here's
just
the
to-
thing. It
Me
wasn't
too. I'm
stand-up.
with you on that. I totally agree.
I'm that way now. But here's the thing. It really wasn't stand-up. What it was an actress doing
A monologue.
doing a monologue, pretending to be a stand-up because I really didn't have the comfort level, the connection. But I knew how to move. I knew how to walk and talk and be on stage, from having been an actor. So it took me, I would say it started coming together at around year 6. I started going, oh, that's what I got to do,
and you can't get that from watching other comedians, right?
No.
You get so much. I mean, but no, you can't. It's stage time. You need stage time. You need to.
I mean, you can see different styles and maybe think, oh, that's different, but you have to find your own way. I mean, there's comics, like Stephen Wright, there's people that do one-liners, there's people that tell stories, people that tell
Wait,
personal
how would you
stuff.
describe what you do?
Political.
Are you storytellers? Are you?
No, we tell jokes, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little of both.
Yeah.
There's a little of both, and
Especially when you do longer sets. If you have to do a half hour or something, you're going to weave stories in and out of there too, funny stories.
Yeah, and we both talk about our lives. We talk about we've both been single parents with kids, and what it's like to raise kids, and we talk about all the same stuff, the dating,
Yeah, the
like
idea,
I say, there's a terrorist organization in this country nobody's talking about. The PTA, it's like those bitches are serious, man. I mean, so there's
true that.
there's just so much of life that's funny if you see it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things that what landed me here. And I just would like to give a shout out. Cleo King's open mic on Tahunga
Cleo.
Thursday night.
What a
Yes.
fun
Ye-
show.
Two
Doors
Roads
open
Theater.
at 7:30. It starts at 8:00, $5. It's the best open mic in
Oh my
town.
God! Stat always with a big crowd and everybody's supportive. It's
yeah.
so
And how's
fun.
it go, ladies?
We
create and we support. I got your back.
back.
And that's what you'll hear. That's Cleo's mantra, man.
Yeah.
And from what everybody coming through that door says,
I've written
best room in town.
so much material.
Yeah, come down,
of that
try it
room,
out.
Out of that room, yeah, because I feel so comfortable that people understand. Like if I go up with my cards, or whatever, that I'm always working. Like I don't even go on stage unless there's something
Well, that's
new.
it. That's the other thing I
One-
find. Like I didn't know that watching, everybody trying out their material that they have cards. Now I even saw,
Well, I have a notebook.
Yeah, she has her notebook.
notebooks, cards.
I
and
I tried a notebook this week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
A
how'd
small
that,
one
how'd
or
that
a
work
regular
out for you?
Composition book. It was fine. I put it on the stool, so it kind of was. I don't know. It was fine. I mean, it's hard to work off of notes because you don't do that during a show, or at least I don't.
No. You got to
I mean-
remember.
Well, my thing was like I would when I lived in Florida, and the hellacious nights that I spent by myself, I would call Margaret, who we know Margaret from Cleo's, and I've known Margaret since
Margaret
'86.
Flannel
yeah,
Flynn.
yeah, Margaret Flannel Flynn,
What?
and yeah, that's her name.
Margaret
Anyways,
Flannel
I would have her on the and Margaret hates the phone. She hates the fucking phone.
I could imagine that.
So I get her on the phone, but I don't really know that, okay? Because I had her in front of me. So now she lives in California. I'm living in Florida. I'm in this big house all by myself. And I would call her up, and I would go on for 2 hours. And I would have her laughing so hard that, basically she'd say to me, "You got to come out to L.A." And I tell her, I ain't fucking never coming out to L.A. I mean, I really, never in a million years did I think
well, you bounced out here pretty good, didn't
But
you?
the thing was, she kept saying to me, what everybody, you should be doing comedy. You should, Anne Marie, I watch comedy. I see people get up on stage, and as you said, your friend said, you're just as funny or you're funnier. Just with these stories about your mother. And everyone that knows me is always like, you got to talk about your mother. You got to talk about how you grew up. The stories you tell are hysterical. And I'm like, yeah, well, when my mother dies so she doesn't come find me and kick my ass because she's of that generation. She'll come hunt me down. I'll tell you right now, I probably never go home again if I start. My first show, I had to block on Facebook. I posted it, when you can do selection. Yeah. Everyone except my mother can see this because it was all on her. And that generation where, was legit.
See, my mom was the cool mom.
Oh, my mom's cool, but she's my best story. She don't like that shit hanging out there. And my mother's famous line, I never said that. I never did that. I'm like, you're so glad we didn't have phones back then. Why
Can
would
you
you
imagine?
say? No, not at all.
I'm not so good. I'm not so into this technological business. I mean, there's good things about it, but I foresaw the dangers of it when it first starts. Like too much Big Brother's watching you.
Dude, when they said stay away from the light, that's the shit they were talking about.
Right. That's
Yeah,
what
but
they were talking.
it's
That's
like,
a great joke.
Stay away from the light.
That's a
Yeah,
great joke.
that way that you got to think about that. Validating every stupid shit thing that you ever did. I mean, not for nothing, but I have to laugh at some. So yeah, it's great you posted that. Can't wait for you to go for a job, you big bragger, because your boss is going, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, those are her titties, and she's a slob because like. I loved it. One comedian said, man, I don't want to see you got your titties flying up in the air. You're taking videos of that, and behind you, it's like make your bed. I mean, I want a woman, show me a video of you cooking. I loved it. And I went, I never thought of it that way, but true. I mean, the young girls that are posting all this stuff about themselves, it's like, yeah.
I know. I told my
they'll
daughter,
haunt you the rest of your life.
if you're going to post pictures like that, have Playboy pay you good money for it. Because, she's got this, like, sheer blouse. It's like, really?
No more news in Playboy, so
No, I was
she
before.
can always,
That's
an
an old
skank.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You
well,
got to be careful what you put. And she goes, well, you did. And I go, no, I never did. I was an actress and I did a movie. And there were certain costumes I wore that were, suggestive or whatever. But, that's acting. That's not like putting my life out there. Although I do have quite the controversial picture with naked under the American flag, kind of giving.
yeah,
this a
that
little-
was you hot
You know that
mama.
picture?
Yeah, you're a hot mama.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the first photography session I ever had in L.A.
I love when you talk about when people tell you, oh,
Oh, Facebook.
yeah. No, when
Yeah.
you posted a picture and she said, oh my God, you.
You look the same. On Throwback Thursday on the Facebook. You have the Facebook, do you? Yeah. So you post those pictures, everybody say, "Oh my God, you look the same." I'm like, I mean, I've looked 60 my whole life.
That's not cool.
That's not a compliment. I'm sorry.
Well, I think the camera is ruining stand-up in a way because all these kids, I'm not going to name names either, but young comics we know, they all want to post their sets. It's like, please don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't post their set. They think, oh, I had a great set, and they want to post it. Don't do it.
No, wait,
Everything I posted in the beginning,
Absolutely
I
do
took down.
not.
Well,
do
wait.
not do it.
Now
No.
you say that, but
no.
what they do is teaser clips.
Nope.
And why is it you say that? Because
They're not
no,
ready.
They're not ready. They are
Oh.
not
When they
ready.
get better 3 years from now and that piece of shit tape is still out there, they're going to wish it was.
Okay,
And
so
Chris Rock now is like, he does not want it. He said cameras have ruined stand-up. Now, like he goes out and other people, we go out and we work our bits. Like it could take 3, 4, 5 times. If they tape Chris Rock the first time he's working on something, they're going to say, oh, that's a shitty joke. They're not seeing the finished product.
Oh, hear that,
so
young
you're
comedians?
judged on
That's great.
everything
Yeah.
you say.
Yeah.
So it's like, you pay money to see Chris Rock. You don't, when you go to the club, watch him perform. Don't tape it and then put it on the internet.
Yeah, it's
you know,
not
it's
right.
they're working on their shit. He's working on his Academy Award, 10 minutes that he's going to
Well, see, a lot of
Right,
people
that's
don't
what he was
understand
doing,
that
yeah.
comedians, no matter what level they've gotten to, they're still out in the clubs practicing and
Yes,
doing their bits
absolutely.
before they present that.
Sure.
Which, it's like people go, well, I woke up a comedian, I fell out of bed, I was fucking batshit crazy funny, and I went down to the
Wouldn't
refrigerator
that be
and cracked up
nice?
the curd. And yeah, wouldn't
I'd
it be
like-
nice?
I'd take that pill.
Yeah, but that's not, and for a lot of people that, especially LA, I love this coming here and seeing how saturated the market is.
It's unbelievable.
And I mean, the clubs benefit because these kids are willing to get up for nothing. So, they have constant entertainment, the sacrificial
And they bring
lambs.
all their friends.
And
so
they bring
have
all
a
their
full
friends,
club,
and they have a
and yeah.
2-drink minimum and all that. No wonder why they live
That's
in
why
their
I
fucking
go
cars.
to Florida to work and make money and Vegas to make money.
Well, yeah, the comedian in Boston said to me, Anne Marie, you go
That's
get
going
seasoned out in L.A., you can come here and make a living.
right.
And I said, really? He said, oh, fuck yeah. If you can make it in L.A., that will be the ultimate. That on your resume alone. And I mean, this
It's a hard town to come up in, though. It is, and start out. You did. And I think it takes longer because you don't have as much opportunity. Like in Florida, I was working within 6 months. I was traveling with the Funny Diva show. I only had 8 minutes, but there were 9 of us, so who cared, And then as soon, they dropped off one by one, and I had to keep writing and get more and more, And by the end, there were 4 of us, and we each did 25 minutes.
How long will you keep? This is another thing because I've been watching the open mic nights,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm amazed at how many people get up and do the same. It's like I've been there for a year,
Okay.
and I'm like doing the same.
Well, there's a famous saying that Jay Leno has,
Yeah.
and it
I knew
is,
you were going to say this.
you can do the same act on the road for 20 years. You can do it on TV once. So,
Okay.
And also, a lot of people perfect that 5 minutes. That's really what they have to work on because what you need to audition for anything is a nice, short.
That's what they
perfect
call it
take.
the Tonight Show set. You
And-
have to have a good 5 minute
minutes
set. And so when you see like Jerry Seinfeld and everybody coming around to the clubs, they're getting ready for their 5 minute Tonight Show set. They're
Oh, that's
practicing
awesome.
too, So you could be performing at a club and they'll say, hey, can I do my quick 5 minutes? And you go, yeah.
Well, I heard from one comedian how long it took him to get on the Tonight Show, and perfecting his set, and how you have to, and they came out and said, oh, you can't say that. I mean, you have to be politically
Right.
correct. There's all kinds of guidelines.
Oh,
you
sure.
can't just go on and tear
Well,
up.
more
Well,
of
it
those are
depends
being
now,
torn
yeah.
down more and more because there's more different venues. Netflix is doing it. There's really no restrictions.
Right, like even Conan O'Brien, you can say shit and stuff like that.
It's getting
because it's
more.
cable.
Is more lenient but then the network, then the FC under strict FCC rules. We did the other radio show, Comics Life Radio, which is really fun.
Well, that's because, Jesus is at home watching it.
Right. Well,
and
but
you have to get
you have
Jesus
to
approval.
Watch your P's and Q's and
That's
make
it.
sure. I did a not G, but PG rated show on Sunday night, and it's really easy. I mean, I say fuck in my life, but I don't say it on stage.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in your sleep.
No, I,
Tourette's, she's always, fuck.
I probably do. But Here's another stuff we keep quoting Seinfeld, but he says, don't ever write fuck into a joke because if that makes it funny, it's not funny. It has to be funny without the fuck. If a fuck slips out, that's fine. Let the fuck slip out, but don't write the fucks in. Because
Well, that's hard because where I come from, the language of like every area, and that's the other thing, knowing your audience. Like I used to wait in my business, knowing your audience was really crucial in sales, and I would have people
in
from
anything.
the Midwest that were just. I mean, I had to slow it way down. And when I talk about very limited sense of humor, I'm talking about we could talk cheese. You could talk cheese forever with Wisconsin and Minnesota. And I mean,
They love the
that's
curds.
slow down. They love the curds. Yeah,
There's
the steamed
parts of
Packers.
Central Florida that
Yeah,
are very, specifically like country club Republican, very much. And I did that whole circuit.
Yeah, like I like to
still
say,
do.
when you go to that CVS and there's more Depends in the aisle than there are Huggies, welcome to Florida, folks.
And the big magnifying mirrors.
Got to see those chin hairs.
Where's that tweezer aisle? Okay.
My mother used to call that her quiet time. She had electrolysis, and she was like,
Her quiet
I
time.
really miss my quiet time in the morning grooming. I'm like, yeah, well,
quiet.
that's something to look forward to, too.
I thought electrolysis went bzz, bzz, that's
No, and with all of that, I don't know if your mother did that to you, but my mother had a you wait list.
a what?
A you wait.
Oh, you wait.
You wait, Anna Marie. You wait till your chin hair, and I used to go, okay, check. As you age, and I just say to my daughter, enjoy it. Everything at your age is a process. You get to my age, it's a procedure.
Yeah.
Just so you
that's
know,
right.
you'll get your
But
reminder.
I look just like my mother now. It's so weird. Like they say you become your mother. I literally embodied her. And she was blonde. She was dark because I just became blonde 2 years ago. I had dark hair my
Okay.
whole life. And I look in the mirror and go, Ma? It's like it takes me a minute, especially with my glasses off.
Well, I
Who is
thought that
old
was
lady?
I thought that was the given once you had kids, and then like I'd say, my mother would come flying out of my face, all the things that you pretty much as a kid thought that I would never say that to my child, and then it's like that
Yeah, I
thing
took
comes.
I took the opposite approach that my mom did, and I'm not so sure how. The jury's still out. They're only 18, 24, and 25. So we'll see how how many years are on the couch or this or that. We'll see how I did.
Yeah, that 50-50. I used to
I
say
don't
that.
know,
Can I do the, and I'm really like, God damn, I got more information on the dog when I took it home. And it's like, okay, paragraph 5, section 3, go to the friend's house. The mother works, the father's not home. Kid looks all fucked up when he comes over. If I don't let her go, she's going to sneak out anyway. So what's a call? What's the call? Will she end up resenting me? Will she end up doing it? I mean, there's a million things.
Right.
And your kids, screaming at you. You're ruining
But
my
you know
life.
what? They're all who they are. I think the minute my son was born, I looked right at him and went, "Oh my God!" I looked right in his eyes. I'm going to learn a lot from you. I mean, I could tell he was all right there. Whatever it was, all I could ever do was guide his way. So I just took the easiest way of parenting and just kind of,
Stand back and
natural
chill.
and logical consequences. Oh, you stuck your finger in that socket and it hurt, didn't it? You won't be doing that again. Well, yeah.
No, that was a generation of like you fell down and you did something stupid. My mother, 4 of us, she'd come in and she'd go, "Good. Did you learn anything from that?"
No, but
And
here's the thing I don't like, and maybe you can speak to this too, is everybody got a trophy. I hated that. That way
there's
my
a big
kid.
controversy
Yeah,
about
I know
this.
the way my kid grew up. They got a trophy to participate, and I think that's bullshit. I mean, I swim. I was a swimmer. I got blue ribbons, and dove, and I had to work my ass off. But for everybody to get a trophy to participate, then that's the entitled generation. They
That would
should get
explain why you need knee pads. You can hold your. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
there you go.
snorkeler.
I can.
But yeah, you're very correct on that. I mean, that's a big controversy right now. I don't know if you agree
She's
or.
got great kids, but she was a tiger mom.
Yeah, I didn't have problems with my kids. They turned out pretty good. I was a single mom. My ex was an fuck up. So we were like a team. We were the Valley Girls, so we kind of
Right.
stuck together. And I made sure they had every opportunity. And I didn't have a lot of money, but you can do stuff for free. You know
Yeah,
what I
God
mean?
forbid. What? Who said that?
Yeah, I was craft mom.
Oh my God! I took them to museum. We did everything. We did museums. We did events. We did. They had a very good, well-rounded life, and I made sure they were busy and knew how to do everything. And now
How
they're
was the
working
age differences?
Just 3 years.
Okay.
She has 2 girls. who still are with her today.
I know they still live with
And
me.
my 2 daughters still live with me too.
Yeah, that
I'm quite the catch. Is another word.
yeah.
the idea of that.
So
No,
you too.
I have one in Boston.
Yeah, mine came back.
Yeah.
One in Boston, one in Gainesville,
They keep. I would have the third.
and I just
one.
had my first grandson.
I
Well, I didn't actually
know.
have him. I
No.
was like, just didn't have a girl, huh? Because I can only get even a little
You ready
bit.
to be? No, Jennifer's too young to be a grandma.
That's one of my jokes. I say
It's a
about
glam ma. That's what I say. It's a glam ma,
Oh no.
not a grandma. What do you want to be called? Whatever. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
the
she's-
decision of that.
She has a joke about just. I love those chairs. I just went ADD completely right there.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
It's like doink chairs.
Squirrel.
What? Conversation chairs. What?
Get on.
No, I really do. I think nobody was amused. I would tell people, the shit that I had to deal with my kids, and my mother be standing there, and I'd like, can you believe that? I would, and my mother go, yeah, well, I remember the time, and of course, my joke to my mother is, when's dementia gonna hit you?
Oh my
Because
God.
I
So
mean,
she doesn't
with that,
remember
my
anymore?
mother remembers everything. That's a joke. When is dementia gonna hit you? Because my mother didn't forget anything. So I always explain to people having 2 daughters, my mother's very amused, very amused. I mean, I would have to say, the money that your grandma gives you money and stuff like that, it was a payoff. You aggravate the shit out of your mother, that's worth $10. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
there
Did I
you
tell
go.
you about the time? Yeah, my mother remembered every detail of that. And my nieces and nephews would be like, Nina, who's the worst? Who is the worst growing up? And they're saying Tony, and my mother would look dead at me. And I'm like, yeah,
Us too.
yeah.
Were you a good kid?
I was like a latchkey kid. My mom wasn't involved in my life at all. So that's why I was the opposite. My mom was Dutch and she was single and she was flirty and, had lots of boyfriends and, always left us alone. So we just did our own thing. My sister and I kind of
Free
raised
spirit. I
ourselves.
like that.
We did our own thing.
You,
We'd come home, I'd wake up in the morning. My mom would have she'd say, oh, I had someone sleep on the couch, and I'd hear the guy chasing her around. Ooh! Come here, you little Dutch treat. And she'd go, what? What's this? Oh,
really? What's he like? How old was your mom when she had you?
She was in her late 20s.
Okay, so that usually was the generation of they had from 19. They were usually done having kids at 25.
Well,
Yeah,
she
my
didn't
mom
have
had
it
me
until
at
late. They were
26.
trying to come to the United States before they had kids, but it took so long at that
Her
time.
dad's Asian.
So
She's Asian and Dutch.
Really? That's a beautiful
I'm Dutch
combo.
Dutch Indonesian. That's a very common combination. Like Van Halen, they're Dutch Indonesian.
Oh, there.
The things you learn. Who knew? I didn't
Because
know that.
Indonesia was a Dutch colony.
Oh, all right. That's interesting.
So yeah, my mother was pregnant with me when she came to the United States. So I'm first generation.
Oh, wow. That's unusual.
Tell her why black guys like you.
Oh, because that's why. That's my demographic now. That's who likes me is middle-aged and older black dudes. I'm looking at you. I know you're looking at me.
And for those who can't see Lee, yes, he is a black dude.
He's shaking his head. He's showing
and it's
it.
because I'm half Asian. Because
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
Because to black guys, I'm like a starter white.
I love that joke.
I like that. That's really funny.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, that means you're exotic.
I'm
right?
exotic. You can ease right in. You can take me home and say, "Oh no, she's not white. She's exotic." She's
Uh-huh.
I'm not exotic.
No, you're a typical Jewish girl, right?
U.S.
A Jewess?
But I'm very worried. We've all just been grabbed right in the pussy, by the way. I can
Oh, yes.
say that,
That you-
so, and we were reading on the way over, about how it's going to affect comedy. And a lot of comics are worried about that.
Well, the thing is Trump doesn't seem very artistic. Like Obama, you knew he liked music. He liked to dance. He liked to go to concerts. He liked to watch movies. I've never heard of Trump liking anything. I haven't heard him. He didn't even go to Hamilton, and that's the biggest show in New York. And he kind of I heard it's overrated. What? What do you mean you heard it's overrated? It's won more Tonys than any play ever. So I'm worried what's going to happen to the arts in general. It's not going to be important.
those are the first ones the Nazis went for. We
Yeah.
know that. We
Yeah,
know that.
they picked up all the artists and the
intellectuals,
musicians.
the
Yeah,
musicians,
hello,
the
because they
artists,
want to
yeah.
take away all joy.
Oh, man. I mean, they've yeah, I didn't even
But I'm
think
not
of that.
being quiet about any
Well,
of
wait,
it.
he went after Saturday Night Live and I thought that, and I said this to the guys, you have to think that as a comedian, it's a plethora of material. because
He had
everything.
a roast on Comedy Central. If you think anybody could take it, right? It's somebody who would allow himself to be roasted because, he wasn't forced into it.
No, my friend Mike Rowe wrote for the Donald Trump roast, and Donald Trump had very specific rules. You could make fun of his hair. You could make fun of his kids.
You could or
make
could
fun.
not.
You could make fun of his ex-wives. You could not make fun of his business.
So his dick was off limits?
No.
Oh,
no,
his business.
His
I'm sorry.
business is money. But you could make fun of his daughter.
You mean
call-
like going bankrupt all those times? and
You
all that?
could not
Oh,
make jokes about that, but you could
wow.
make jokes about his hair, his orange skin,
The
his
fact
kids.
that he wanted to kiss his daughter.
All that. You could make fun of all that, but he didn't want people to think, oh, he doesn't have money. But yeah, but fuck my kids. Who cares?
Yeah, they're going to change the hail to the chief to heil to the chief.
Yeah.
Please don't
Bada
you
boom.
don't know. You don't know what that does to me. I mean, I'm like, really? Because I lived for so many years in Tampa, which is right by Lakeland, Florida.
Yep.
Home of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yep.
And they would have a strawberry festival near that area every year. And I wouldn't go because I wouldn't subject my Asian daughter. I can pass for whatever. Nobody knows what I am. But they are who they are. They're Asian. And, I just didn't want them to be. Here, it's no thing in California. But in Florida, we were quite an oddity. I mean, like, I had people say all kind of stuff.
All right. I need you
Yes.
to let people know where you're going to be, what you're doing, where you're hanging.
Okay.
All right, I'll start. I'm Jennifer Valley. You can follow me on social media at Jennifer Valley. And here's the trick. Valley is no E, so it's Jennifer, Jennifer Valley. I'm on Facebook. I have a web series I created called
Cool.
Right.
Cool.
Ye Old News. It's a comedy history show. Look that
Wow.
up. I have my own YouTube channel. It's also on Facebook. Ye Old News, like old with an E, and it's a comedy and history. Stars
Hey,
a
leave
lot of
that-
stand-ups, you know.
Leave that stuff on our I have a page, right? I have a thing on our on thepowerofvoices.com and put your info there.
Oh,
Feel
great.
free to
Yeah,
leave
yeah, yeah.
comments and have your friends
It's like
comment.
Bill Nye Science Guy, but it's history. Like I substitute taught for years, and I was telling Jennifer those would be perfect things to teach kids history in a entertaining way,
in a
They're-
modern way. So
yeah,
they're like
and
they're
great.
3-minute interstitials, and they have comics, and it's really funny.
Where are you?
I am going back to Las Vegas.
Yeah, mama.
Christmas
Yay.
week, I will be headlining. I can't even believe I say that because I still get chills because I don't think of
You
myself as a
should. Come
headliner.
on now.
But I'm headlining at the Rampart Marriott Golf Resort and Casino on December 22nd, and
Beautiful rooms.
the Rock House at the Venetian on December 23rd with Charisse Severin, and because Jennifer's not going with me, so my girlfriend Charisse.
Oh yeah,
is-
she's funny lady.
Yeah, she's
you guys
really
ought to
funny.
enjoy that. You
Yeah,
really
yeah,
ought to
yeah.
enjoy that.
And
They'll be great.
I
They'll be
work,
great.
I like performing at Billy Bat's place at Van Nuys Comedy Club.
Oh,
and
I'm
you're on
doing
Instagram
and
too,
I'm doing
right?
the storytelling thing.
Oh, she's doing
January
a
5th,
Storyworthy.
Storyworthy.
And we wanted to give a shout out to Danielle Soto, who did a great thing after the election. She did an open mic, and all the proceeds of the bar were for Planned Parenthood and other charities.
And
that are
today's
gonna help
Giving Tuesday, so if you're going to give to any charity, I suggest Planned Parenthood.
All right, guys. I would love to thank you all for those who
Thank
hung
you.
in. And
Yay,
basically,
thank you,
we'll catch you
Anne-Marie.
again next week. I got some cool guests coming up next week. Make sure you tune in. This is Anna Marie on thepowervoices.com. Thanks for hanging.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks for having us,
Good
Anne-Marie. It was
night.
fun.